I can't believe that this actually tastes like chocolate and that we have it growing on our farm. We have a chocolate tree on our farm.
I think it's that big one down there.
Yeah.
So, backstory, I came upon an 18th century account of some European chemists who made a chocolate alternative using not the cacao tree, but the linden tree. Now, the ancient recipe was pretty vague, and the few modern attempts I saw online had varying degrees of success. So I wanted to see for myself if there was some truth to this centuries-old experiment. So I grabbed a ladder and harvested the little nuts of my American linden tree. According to the ancient recipe, they needed to be green and immature. The recipe also called for dried linden flowers, which I crushed into a fine powder with a mortar and pestle and then set aside. Then it was time to process the linden fruits. This was a step that I figured could make or break the experiment, maybe where others before me had gone wrong. You see, the raw fruits were woody and astringent, tasting nothing like chocolate, and no one had mentioned roasting them first, not even in that 18th century account. But look at cacao. Cacao beans have to be roasted, so in the oven they went. The roasted fruits had darkened to a beautiful brown, and they were dry and brittle and looked almost like cacao nibs. And most importantly, I could detect a distinct chocolate aroma that was not there before.
There's certain notes that smell just like raw cocoa powder.
Then I decided to sift the powder to remove any remaining large pieces.
It looks like cocoa powder.
I added a pinch of the dried linden flowers from earlier. Then I needed to bind it together with a neutral oil. I went with almond oil. This is where the recipe basically ended, and so I decided to give it a taste.
Definitely needs sugar.
Pretty bitter.
Back into the mortar it went, and I incrementally added fine castor sugar and more almond oil until it was just right. The finished product was gorgeous, and it looked like chocolate, but did it taste like chocolate?
Oh my God. Those notes, those chocolate notes are totally there. I would eat this by the spoonful, honestly. Do you know how hard it is to make chocolate? And I just made freaking chocolate from a tree in my backyard. Look at this, chocolate. I just made it. Also, I made it in less than like 30 minutes.
Well, this first attempt seems to have proven the experiment true. And I also want to tell you about the curious history of linden chocolate, as well as a breakdown of the linden genus. So go visit my page right now.
Kind of looks like poop, but I don't care.